Once one of the sport's most anticipated athletes, Angel Reese was given a fantastic chance to establish herself on a new platform, the unrivaled basketball league. It was meant to be Reese's time to shine, a chance to break free from Caitlin Clark's shadow and demonstrate that she could be the face of this new league since Clark was not competing. Rather than taking charge, however, Reese made her debut a public catastrophe that cast doubt on her suitability for the spotlight. Fans and critics alike questioned whether she was really the star she believed herself to be because of how lackluster her performance was. Let's go back a little. There was a chance that Reese's entry into the unrivaled basketball league might change everything. We believed that she had the talent, the confidence, and the swagger to support it. Reese had before asserted rather loudly that there were other reasons why fans watched the WNBA besides Caitlin Clark. She was convinced that she was equally attractive. Reese was given the opportunity to leave her mark on January 17, 2025. Expectations for her debut with Rose Basketball Club, Rose BC, were extremely high after she was selected fourth overall. The scene was prepared for greatness. The competition appeared manageable, and the attention was on her. However, the subsequent events were nothing short of catastrophic. Vinyl BC and Rose BC faced off in what was expected to be a fierce, high stakes match. Furthermore, although the score of 79-73 would appear close on paper, it doesn't fully convey how profoundly Reese's performance disappointed her squad. She scored 10 points and pulled down 14 rebounds, which doesn't seem like much on the surface. However, a more thorough examination of the data reveals a very different picture. Those turnovers and a field goal percentage of less than 30% for Reese, Rose BC's hopes were severely damaged by four vital giveaways at pivotal times. Specifically, the turnovers were catastrophic. The momentum shifted in Vinyl BC's favor each time Reese turned the ball over, giving them easy points. Her performance was a perfect illustration of all the things you don't want from a professional athlete. Reese vanished during the game's most crucial moments. She broke under the strain rather than grasping the chance and stepping up to the plate. The Rose BC offensive lacked a cohesive structure and was fragmented. In the meantime, Vinyl BC's attack moved the ball like a well-oiled machine with ease. There was a noticeable difference between the two teams. Not only did Vinyl BC play better, but they were superior to Rose BC in every way. The main culprit was Reese, who not only failed to step up, but also purposefully brought her colleagues down with her. It was similar to watching a slow-motion auto accident. However, if Reese represented the collapse, Ryan Howard represented Vinyl BC's triumph. Howard, a seasoned WNBA standout, scored 33 points on an amazing 55% shooting in a perfect game. Howard took over when things went close in the fourth quarter, scoring 10 of her team's last scores to help them win. Reese's performance was nothing compared to hers. Reese blatantly lacked the leadership, talent, and composure that Howard demonstrated. Reese struggled to preserve her own poise and inspire confidence in her team, while Howard motivated them to improve their performance. Reese's performance in this game ought to have served as a wake-up call for those who were still convinced that she had the makings of a star. There was no more glaring contrast between Reese's fall and Howard's leadership. Howard led the court with the decisiveness and calculation of a general. But Reese, who looked like a deer in headlights, was out of her element. Her squad followed her into the abyss rather than following her lead. The fall of Rose BC as a whole was more notable than any one person's errors. In every way, the team was outperformed. Rose BC's bench was outscored by 22 points by Vinyl BC's. There was a noticeable difference in bench depth and performance, as Reese and the other Rose BC starters fell short when it counted most. Vinyl BC moved the ball precisely, with each play being planned like a symphony and each pass having a purpose. Rose BC, on the other hand, lacked organization and collaboration and appeared to be playing pickup ball. Seeing it was painful. Then there was the problem of leadership or the absence of it. As the team's captain, Reese was expected to inspire her teammates during difficult times, but she radiated uneasiness rather than confidence. She flipped the ball, missed free throws, and failed to make the crucial plays her team needed each time the pressure increased. Howard, meanwhile, set an example by accepting accountability for the accomplishments of her team. But Reese was too preoccupied with being a liability to her squad. Her turnovers were as expensive as her lost opportunities, and she struggled to make her free shots, going just 2 for 6 from the line. Reese had no defense, which made the situation worse. Ryan Howard scored points with ease and made it appear effortless as she entered the paint like it was her own private area. Originally intended to be Rose BC's defensive backbone, Reese ended up acting more like a doorman and allowing Howard to score easy baskets. Not to mention how she struggled to adapt to the aggressive defensive and double teams that Vinyl BC threw at her. Reese gave up rather than stepping up to the plate, and her team lost the game even worse. Reese was exposed by the aftermath of the game, not just the game itself. Caitlin Clark, who is always ready to offer a critical assessment, didn't waste any time in criticizing Reese after the game. She used the linguistic equivalent of a sledgehammer when she said, Angel Reese's performance was disappointing. She needs to focus on the fundamentals before stepping into the spotlight. In addition to criticizing Reese, Clark completely destroyed her, and to be honest, she wasn't mistaken. Not only was Reese's debut underwhelming, but it also served as a stark reminder of all the shortcomings in her game. Everything you don't want in a top player was evident in her mistakes, missed free throws, and lack of leadership. Although opinions on Reese's performance were divided, there was a growing consensus that she could have outlived her prime. Some supporters continued to hold out hope that Reese would change her ways, citing her talent and potential as evidence. However, the truth was evident to many others. Reese had been shown to be unprepared and unable to cope with the strain. Although there had potential, it doesn't translate into winning titles. It is executed. Additionally, Reese failed to perform in this game. When her team most needed her, she faltered under the strain and did not deliver. The path to progress is clear. Quit losing your cool under duress. Correct your turnovers, make your free throws, and discover what it really means to be a leader. However, none of it is simple. Additionally, those that are still learning the ropes won't be tolerated in the unrivaled league. Now, every action Reese performs will be closely watched, and her errors will be highlighted even more. From now on, each game will either fuel the flames of her detractors or begin to shift the balance in her favor. Will Reese be able to handle the challenge? Will she change her career and disprove the skeptics? Or will she remain the face of unfulfilled expectations? Although she currently has the upper hand, given her debut, she may want to start honing her grasp because she still has a long way to go before anyone will take her seriously. There are many obstacles along the way, and if her performance against Vinyl BC is any guide, Reese and Rose BC may have a long and embarrassing season. The stark contrast between Howard's and Reese's performances draws attention to the essential distinctions between a player who is still figuring things out and one who has the mentality of a champion. Howard demonstrated the importance of skill, leadership, and maintaining composure under duress. Although Reese has the talent to achieve, she won't get there on her own. She needs to take charge, correct her mistakes, and demonstrate that she can withstand the demands of being a top player in the unrivaled basketball league. Her status in the league will remain uncertain until then, and she will continue to face scathing criticism.